I
You know
got to
what's
think of
funny?
something.
Check this out. As a nutritionist, have you ever come across from this? Okay. I eat until maybe the bag of chips is gone. Now, sometimes that's regrettable, but it happens, right? The sandwich, you either eat a half or both halves, but you probably don't eat a half and then like 2 bites and then put it. It's like weird. I don't know. You just start. Okay. Keith Malley will only eat until he's full. And then no matter how much is on the plate or in the potato chip bag, he will put it away. He will eat half a Klondike bar. And even though there is no way to take a bite out of Klondike bar and for it to be nice and even, the chocolate things fly all over the place, he finds a way to fold it up, tie it up nice, and put it away. Now, as a nutritionist, this is people's goal. Am I right? Like, oh,
Keith,
I'm
this is
full.
like primo, like what I try to train people to do. Mindful eating, intuitive eating. That is absolutely. I mean, it's very hard to do because we're programmed to eat the portion that's in front of us. Whether that's why if you had a small bag of chips, you'd finish it. If you have a large bag of chips, you'd finish it. And just visually, your brain is not thinking about, oh, how much am I eating until it's done, whether it's cut up into squares. But yeah, that's amazing. And you
Right?
still are not ripped. How is that possible?
No, she made it bad.
Oh, there.
I'm
That's
kidding. I'm
jealousy.
kidding.
And that's
That's
sad.
mean.
That's
That's
sad.
mean.
It's
You look
like,
great,
You
Keith.
don't have to defend Madonna, okay?
That was mean. That was for Madonna. It is for Madonna. I'm sorry, Keith. You're a dude. You can no, but honestly, you got to come and maybe lecture my clients because I don't even know how to get people to do that. I mean, I kind of do, but it doesn't work. A lot of people, I think you just have to cut up the portion before you eat it. Very few people have the discipline to stop when they're full. You got to pre-cut it, put the rest of the Klondike bar away, and
yeah,
then
why?
finish
Keith
it.
is such a freaking psycho. Is this only in psychos? Like,
I
do you
don't
have to
know.
be a little like?
You have to
do
be a little obsessive. Are you obsessive?
No.
Oh, well.
about some things? Come
Some
on.
things.
Yeah.
Things I
Yeah.
care about. I'm sex. I'm so obsessive, you know?
Can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah,
no, you
hard
have to
work,
ask
not
him.
really obsessive.
You have to
know?
ask him in Keith Malley way, not obsessive. Do you need things just so sometimes, Keith?
Things should be right. What's the fucking point?
Your way. I eat
Those
your way.
ways are gonna be.
That is actually pretty. Yeah. I'm not
it's
even
odd.
that disciplined. That's interesting. I'd like to follow you around as a case study if that's okay.
I would understand. Let's see what's going on out there. There's got to be somebody's got to have the answer.
We need a whole team.
I mean, it's not like he grew up right. It's so odd that he had this one gift.
That is. Did you learn that from childhood or no?
I don't think I learned anything from childhood, to be honest. Do you know the number of? I said how many days? Is it 4 years? I had to look that up. You know. Yeah, I don't think I learned anything.
I mean, 365 times. That's a lot. That's a lot of math.
I did learn you eat your dessert after your meal, and it's crazy that people can just eat dessert at random times. To me, doesn't go.
See, that's too much. He won't randomly eat an ice cream. Did he have a meal? And now we're eating dessert. Then he can have an ice cream. But he can't just have an ice cream.
Well,
Can you, Keith? Are you allowed to eat popcorn outside of a movie theater?
You're allowed. You can. You can.
But does a movie need to be happening even in your home? Like
no, you could. No,
you just play it on silent.
You could just eat popcorn. Have you ever
in the next room?
Right.
Have you ever eaten popcorn just like, oh, you know what? I want a snack. Here's popcorn.
I have, as a matter of fact. But the popcorn is so much better with a sandwich.
With a sandwich.
What? That is psychotic now. That is my professional opinion. No.
It's like how you would eat chips.
Like chips. Yeah, but that just seems...
Oh, right, because you don't just eat chips.
Right.
They
go with things.
Like they go with saliva, you know, and they get broken down by taste buds. Do you have taste buds?
That's funny when you say that. Yeah, no, I have taste buds. I do.
All right. Maybe the alcohol washed them out. I don't, like, it's a numbing cream, right? So
I could taste that different things taste different than other things. So.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I thought maybe it was just texture. Like the texture of chips goes with the texture of a sandwich until the texture of my stomach says stop.
You
No, but really, you're blessed
well, what made you get
You are.
into nutrition in the first place, out there?
to have
Um,
some control over something.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'll say it. I'm obsessive. My mom was really like a health nut growing up, and then I also grew up in Alabama, and then started seeing how people were not so healthy there, and then started kind of reading about how certain diseases, or most diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and all of that stuff could be prevented just by what you eat. And I found
And
that
also,
really
she was trying to
fascinating.
prove to her family that you don't have to eat halal to eat clean. Here's
There you
other
go.
proof.
Surprisingly, we didn't. I mean, we didn't eat pork, but surprisingly, we didn't really eat halal either. We were allowed to eat like fast food and whatever. Like I went through a fast food phase, and then I got kind of fat in high school or middle school, and then I was like, oh, I got to stop eating the way everybody eats in Alabama. And then I started getting into nutrition, and
I'm
then
not going to ask you your definition of fat because that's going to be insulting to a lot of people. But we understand that
for
maybe,
me, I'll say for me, I was a
yes.
little chubbier, went through a chubby phase, didn't love it. And I was like, I need to stop eating Chick-fil-A and Burger King for every meal because I was a really picky eater. So my mom would kind of just let me eat what I wanted, but then I gained a lot of weight. And then I kind of hit puberty, got taller, and then it all, I guess, evened out. But by then, I had to choose something to study. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll go with nutrition. And then I really enjoyed it. I really like I like the psychology behind nutrition. Like we're talking about like portioning out stuff. Why do people eat the way they do? What did you learn? How did your parents talk about food? Did you grow up in a big family where you had to quickly grab like your food and get seconds before everybody else did? Like how do these things influence and impact how we eat today? I find that
This is
really
what guys
fascinating.
think about all day, right, Keith? Like, why are you thinking that? How did you get to thinking about that? Can we talk about thinking about it? Are your thoughts similar to mine? All day, right?
Do you like when you're out eating with somebody? Do you try to help them out sometimes? Like they order something, you go, huh?
No, never, never.
Okay.
I will never give unsolicited advice because, and usually when people ask, me, I'm like, I'm off the clock unless like they
Uh-huh.
actually want, like when they feel like I'm judging them. But I actually find that most of the time when people find out that I'm a nutritionist, they judge me about what I'm eating.
Mm,
And they're like, oh, you're having that cake, huh? Or you're
Huh.
eating ice cream, really?
mm.
And so I don't even like telling people that I will say a lot of times in an Uber, if I've told them I'm a nutritionist, they will use that time to ask me for nutrition advice. And I don't mind because I'm like, hey, if it helps somebody, not have a heart attack or get diabetes, sure.
But
Um,
that's interesting that Keith was like, do you ever help people out? And this was his example. I don't know if everybody caught it. Like when you're sitting down at a nice dinner with your friend and they order food and you go, really? Did you catch how he was helping them? Did you catch that?
I'm
You
not
don't
as
do that?
helpful as you, Keith. I'm
No,
not that helpful. I'm not that nice of a friend.
you don't volunteer your
I
time and your
slap it
work.
out of their hand. I'm like,
Mm.
what are you doing? Have an
I go,
apple.
that's funny. Because you just ordered the other thing earlier, I'll say. And then it's up to them. No one's judging. We're just noticing.
Noticing is judging. That's why, like,
Well,
I
you got to
feel the
do
way Madonna
something.
feels.
You
Don't
gotta do
notice.
something.
You can notice it. Just keep it to yourself.
I tried to, and then they yell at me out of nowhere. This Madonna. Hey, it was a camera. I'm like, I was just opening up a newspaper over
Oh,
here.
Keith, everyone's always yelling at you. It's so
That's
weird.
not really what I look like. I'm like, okay. I mean, we could have just let it go.
It's hard
Now it's
being
in
you.
production.
It is hard.
That's what it is. I'm hearing tone now.